There are a huge number of new and novel threats in the world today, including, the whole idea of cybersecurity, energy security, as well as others that affect us, from financial meltdown and just-in-time processes. I wouldn't single out any one, but I think the development of cyber has produced new threats, not just in the way that we would conventionally think about it, but since we are so interdependent technologically, then clearly this is something that has to be worked on and has to be part of our defence policy. In order to deal with the kind of threats that cyber affects us, whether it's through criminal networks or attacks on critical national infrastructure, we need to have the capabilities in place to deal with that. Now, some of them are diplomatic, because we've got to make sure that we are dealing with our opponents, whether they are commercial or military, but we also need to have the trained people. We need to have the skills and the knowledge that will be able to counter those outside who are using cyber means to attack us in whatever ways. The NATO Secretary General is the head of an organisation that actually is quite small at its very centre, but clearly has a lot of people attached. So in my day it was 19 countries, they all had delegations, but there were 46 countries on the campus. So the Secretary General is the head of the organisation, leads the North Atlantic Council, the NATO Council, which meets every week. He chairs the Council, as well as the Council of Foreign Ministers, Defence Ministers, and then at summit meetings, the heads of state of the individual countries. So the job can't be described in one sentence. You're a diplomat, you're a military expert, you're a doormat in some cases, some people have said. So you're leading what is one of the most successful security organizations that has been invented in the world. NATO has got a very, very important future. It's unique. 28 countries now in a collective security organization that looks after its own interests, but is also involved with the countries in the wider region as well. So it acts in military terms, but also in diplomatic and political terms, in trying to broaden the whole scope of security in its broadest sense. And it adapts to different circumstances. It won the Cold War, saw the opponent disappear, but has then had to deal with the problems in the Balkans, chase down war criminals, help with earthquakes, help with piracy in the Indian Ocean. It's a remarkable organization, and it can't simply be defined as simply, the West's military alliance. Decision makers, whether they are in business, industry, or even academic life, have got to listen to people first. Listen carefully, then make decisions, then explain the decisions, and then execute the decisions. So leadership is about carefully bringing people on board, but buying people into the process so that they don't feel that decisions have been taken above them, for them, without them having an input into it. So I've always held to that particular view: listen, decide, explain, and execute. And up to now, that has been successful for me. I don't like looking back in my life. I like looking forward, so trying to identify mistakes that I've made, and there have been quite a few. I think I've done reasonably well up to now, and hopefully I will spend the rest of my life without making any bad decisions, but who knows.